What's up, guys? I was sitting here answering some emails, and I figured I would make a vlog about a question that I get asked a whole lot, and that is, how do you get in shape, or how do I get in shape? And I figured I'd go ahead and start off by telling or explaining my situation. And 3 years ago, I had gotten out of a relationship, and I weighed 250 pounds. And for my frame, that was extremely heavy. And I had seen a lot of people starting to go out to the bars again after breaking up with her, and people would see me and say, "God, man, you got fat," and just kind of be joking around like, "Damn, you're the fat kid now." And I mean, it kind of hurt, you know. I knew that I was fat. I knew that I was overweight, obviously, because I gained all that weight myself. But to hear from other people was just a little bit rough, and I decided I was gonna change. One night I had a breakdown night where I sat in my room and I did as many push-ups as I could, and I just cried, and I was so upset with myself and what I let myself turn into. And that was literally the night that I changed myself. And 2 nights later, I ended up getting a gym membership because I figured, if I'm gonna dedicate myself to this, I'm gonna dedicate money to this, because if I have money dedicated, then I'm definitely gonna go. So I started dedicating myself to the gym. And when I first started going, all I knew how to do was cardio. Because before I had gone to that gym, weighing 250 pounds, I had never been on a sports team. I was never athletic. I, I knew nothing about fitness or nutrition. And I started just going to the gym every day. I started saying, okay, as long as I'm productive every single day, it'll start making a change. And it did. I lost a lot of good weight just doing cardio. So for the people who are always like, man, you need to start weightlifting, you fucking cardio people always fall out. It's not always that way. You can do cardio and have great results. But the thing you gotta think about is longevity. So cardio is something that's not building anything. You're not building anything by doing cardio, you're just breaking down. And the bad part about cardio is as soon as you stop doing cardio, is all that weight that you've lost doing it is gonna come right back because you're no longer doing that activity. And what I found out over the years is, even if you think, man, I'm not trying to be all big and bulky, but weight training is key. So you have to train your muscles and grow your overall muscular development in order to have lasting results. Okay, so by building or by weight training, you're going to have results that last longer than just when you're weight training. Sorry. So the real key is to find something that you can be consistent at and something that will have longevity. So if you think that's something you could do every day for the rest of your life, as far as diet, nutrition, and activity, then you found the key. But it takes a long time before you find something that works for you and that you can do consistently for projectively the rest of your life. And once you find that key, you've just got to ride it out. But the hardest part is finding that key. A lot of people sell programs, and a lot of them are bullshit. And a lot of them aren't bullshit, but they won't work for you because it's just not the right program for you. So the first thing I would say is build a base of knowledge, okay? So start doing research on fitness and what your goals are as far as your fitness goals, and start building a knowledge base, because that's the most important. When I first started going to the gym and I was looking at dudes that were really good shape, I thought it's just their genetics. They're genetically gifted, they've probably always been in shape, and that's not true at all. The people who are in the best shape know the most about nutrition and fitness and workouts, and they know the most. And it's key to build up your knowledge. So the more you know about fitness and the more you actually experiment with your body, the more in tune you will become from mind to body. And that's huge. Your mind to body connection is everything. So, and a lot of people say mind muscle connection while you're working out, and it's true. If you don't feel exactly what you're moving and lifting, it's not going to be effective. And it's the same way with eating. Once you have that mind or brain to body connection, it will all start to come into place, because you will know when you're getting full, you will know when you're supposed to stop eating, and you will know what's good for your body and what's working efficiently. Now, my advice to people who are like, well, okay, you just said all this, now how can I do this? And the first thing I would say is make a change in your head. Get a picture of what you think you could look like, of what you think you're capable of, and something that is attainable for your body. Get an image of it. Paste your face on somebody else's body that's similar to what you think you can achieve, and put that up on your wall and look at it every day and say, I can become that, because you can. It just takes knowing what to do to get to that place. Now, personally, I've found out through over the years, and I've listened to every different type of plan, like bodybuilding, you need to eat 6 to 8 times a day, small meals, and that's never worked for me. I have a gluttony trigger in my brain that once I start eating, I'm just hungry again in a couple hours and I just want to keep eating. So eating 6 to 8 times a day doesn't really work for me. I'll eat a small meal and then I'll be hungry again, or I'll eat that small meal and still be hungry and want to eat more and then eat again 2 hours later. And it never worked. I never lost any weight eating that much. And what I found out is the most important thing is not what you're eating particularly, because there's nothing unhealthy, you could say. There's no such thing as unhealthy foods. There's unhealthy amounts of food that you're eating. So wheat bread is not necessarily bad for you, but if you eat a whole loaf of it, it's terrible. Just like fruit. Oranges are not bad for you, but if you eat a whole bag of oranges, that's a lot of sugar, that's a lot of acidity, and that's not good for you. So it's all about the amount of food that you're eating. And what I've learned works for my body really well is intermittent fasting. So I don't eat for the first 6 to 8 hours of waking. I wake up, drink a big glass of water, and it's natural for me to not need breakfast. Like, not being hungry in the morning is not a big deal to me. I was always never really hungry when I was eating breakfast anyways, just kind of forcing it down because I thought you needed breakfast, and you don't. And I think that's a big myth that's in the fitness industries. You need breakfast. You need food in you before you work out because that's what you need, and that's what we say. But it's not really like that. So if you're the type of person where you can skip breakfast, or you're not particularly have an appetite during breakfast, then maybe try some intermittent fasting, because all that matters is the overall intake of calories and the overall exertion of calories. So how much calories are you exerting a day? So how active are you? And what is your maintenance levels of what your body naturally burns? And how many calories you're putting in? And for me, an easy way to put less calories in was to push my first meal further into the day. So skipping breakfast and possibly lunch and then working out and not eating until after my workout works fine for me. I've been able to build great muscle working out with no food in my stomach, and I've done this for about a year now. My 2015 resolution was to learn about fasting, and I decided to just experiment on it, and I still do it to this day. And what you've got to find out is a way to lower your caloric intake. So if that means not eating breakfast, if that's easy for you, then do that. If that means eat breakfast, then don't eat again until nighttime, and you have a long period through the day where you don't eat, do that. But any way you can get your caloric intake down and your caloric output up is the best way to get into shape, you could say. And back to making a mental change. Okay, so one of the things you're gonna have to realize is you're gonna have to change a lot about your life dramatically. If you want dramatic changes, you're gonna have to make dramatic changes, and it's gonna be hard. It's not easy, and you've got to realize that it takes consistency over a long period of time. That is the key to getting in shape. Something that you can be consistent at as far as diet and exercise. Something that you can be consistent at over a long period of time. What can you see yourself doing for 5 to 10 to 20 years and still do it? And I found between weight training and intermittent fasting, I think I can do this for a long period of time. With this intermittent fasting, I get a little bit more flexibility on what I'm eating, and for me, that's everything. I was never able to just eat chicken and broccoli every day because it's just so boring. And I went through a brief period of time, like 3 or 4 months, where that was all I ate, and I lost good weight. It just wasn't sustainable for me. I broke down one day and started eating all the shit foods that I always was used to, and eventually I just forgot about all the chicken and broccoli, and I felt shitty about myself, and I started eating shittier, and it was a downward spiral from there. And what you got to do is find something that works for you. Most importantly, something that works for you. And it takes time and experimentation before you can find that. So what I advise to people who ask me this, how do I get in shape? First off, make a mental note of what you think is achievable. So what do you think you can look like? Imagine yourself being in shape and think of that thought. First thing, so you can set a goal of what you want to look like. Second thing is to build knowledge. So build knowledge of how you can reach that goal. What exercises are going to be the best exercises to achieve what you want, and what kind of diet program is actually going to be working and sustainable for you. So I go ahead and advise people try intermittent fasting. If you're not hungry in the morning and you think you can push your first meal off of the day further, try it. Don't binge when you eat though. That's a big key, is not to binge when you break your fast, but to track how many calories you're taking in. And after a while of tracking calories, and I advise everyone to try it for a couple months. Experiment with yourself, track how many calories you're putting in your body a day. Even if it's McDonald's, it has a calorie count up on the menu that says exactly how many calories you're eating. So let's say you eat McDonald's twice a day, count how many calories you're having in that McDonald's, and just to see how many calories you're taking in. So have knowledge of what you're putting in your body. Thirdly is find something that works for you. So find a workout program, find an exercise program, find diet, find nutrition, find a way of eating that works for you. Intermittent fasting is not necessarily a diet. A diet is a restriction of what you eat, and intermittent fasting is a restriction of when you eat. So if that works for you, try that as well. But basically getting in shape is a big trial and error. Not the same thing works for two people exactly the same. I could do the same program, eat the same things, work out exactly the same as someone else, and have completely different results. So all these programs that promise results are bullshit. Don't listen to them. Find something that works for you. Anyways, thanks for listening, guys. If you enjoyed it, like, subscribe, and comment. Tell me if you want another video. I'm going to go ahead and do a little physique update. I'm at the end of a bulk, and I use intermittent fasting with this bulk, and it actually worked pretty well. I've been able to build pretty good muscle development while fasting, and I've been working out for the past 6 months with zero food in my stomach. So I work out about 4 to 5 p.m. every day with no food in me, and I break my fast right after that. And I can basically eat cookies and ice cream, and I waited to say this till the end of the video because it's the least important, about the flexibility of eating that I have now. And a lot of people say, oh, you're bullshit, you know, you don't fucking eat that shit every night. I really do. But that's because I've come in tune with how many calories I'm taking in. So I know exactly how many calories I've eaten every single day, and I can eat what I want around those calories. So if you want to learn a little bit more about what I do specifically and my program, just like and subscribe, leave me a comment, and ask me questions, because I'd love to answer more in this vlog, I guess you could say this vlog sessions that I'm about to start doing, but I'm about to start answering your questions on video because I feel like a lot of people can benefit from it. So thanks for watching. Send me a like, send me a subscribe, and good luck.